All right, guys, welcome back to the Hooligan Hangout, your most favorite place to be. This week, we watched Shazam, Fury of the Gods, directed by David F. Sandberg, starring Zachary Levi, Rachel Zegler, Asher Angel, and Jack Dylan Grazer. A lot of people, actually, but those are just the main few. Little synopsis. This is DC's second movie in the Shazam series, but still, quick synopsis if you haven't seen them. Bestowed with the power of the gods, Billy Batson and his fellow foster kids are still learning how to juggle teenage life with their adult superhero alter egos. When a vengeful trio of ancient gods arrives on Earth in search of the magic stolen from them long ago, Shazam and his allies get thrust into a battle for their superpowers, their lives, and the fate of the world. This is a quick, non-spoiler review. So, Anthony, what did we think about Shazam?
I actually thought it was really good. So one of my biggest concerns going into this movie had to do with my thoughts on the first movie. I've always liked Shazam. Quick side thing. They named him Shazam, like officially. Like he's not Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I guess that's already been done in the comics, but anyways, I've always liked Shazam. But the problem I had with the first movie is I didn't like that it kind of just seemed like, oh, let's just give the powers to everybody. There's like 6 or 7 of them that all had the exact same powers. So I was like, okay, I didn't like that. I'm like, what makes him special? Like, they're all kids. Like, I just didn't like it. But I will say, coming into this movie, or after watching the second movie, they really expanded on that, and I don't mind it now. I actually enjoyed that he had family that was with him having the same powers.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it didn't take away from him. Well, it didn't take away from him like I expected it to. I actually really enjoyed it. I think they did that well.
I think I agree. The heart of this movie is the whole family dynamic, which as it was with the first movie.
Right.
And it felt like a continuation of that. I think the only, like, real problem was how, like, Billy's whole thing where he just doesn't want to, like, he doesn't want to grow up and he doesn't want to give up his family, basically. He doesn't want to lose anybody. Which just expands on, like, the whole family dynamic. And it was really unique because each of them, like, their chemistry is pretty good. Like, each of them has their own little thing going on, little quirk that they all have, and they all do really well in those roles. I would even say the actors for the kids did a lot better in this movie than the last one. Like, their chemistry was just there a lot more.
I agree, 100%. They were given more screen time, more opportunity.
Yeah, and it even showed, like, as superheroes, how all of them have, like, not all of them, but they kind of have, like, a different ideas and, like, different roles in their own retrospect.
Right. I will say, this is kind of minor, but you can tell that the way the kids act when they're kids versus the superheroes, they're different. And you can tell that's just because obviously they're different actors. So it's
yes, and I actually did have an issue with, of course, not spoiler, but Shazam when he was Shazam and not Billy. Shazam felt a lot like more childlike than Billy.
Yeah,
like they didn't feel in sync. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Shazam, like, the superhero, should be more mature than the kid.
Because Billy was,
and then he returned to Shazam, and Shazam's all like, it's just, like, kind of corny.
I think they were trying. This probably isn't the right way to say it, but I think both the actors were trying too hard in the opposite direction. You know, like Billy was trying to do kind of hard to be more mature. And then Zachary or Shazam was trying to do the opposite.
No, I agree. You know? And I do think, like I said, like the first one, I actually think they did better, Shazam and Billy. I think they did a better job, like, connecting in the first one than the second one.
But it could be the writing too.
But at the same time, Zachary looks like he's having a lot of fun in this role. So, honestly, good for him. And I will say, last, like, con before we have to get into spoilers. It's good and bad. It really, like the first one, like I said, it continues not exactly, but, like, where we left off in regards to like the family dynamic and them being superheroes and stuff. But that's kind of like for me, it feels like the same formula. Like it's the same cliches of everything superheroes. Like there's a big bad villain. There's a big bad main villain.
Yeah.
There's the superheroes. This is not a spoiler. It's in the trailer. Some of the superheroes lose their powers. They're forced to like not go into hiding, but like there's just like chaos everywhere. And then of course they win in the end.
Right.
And there's a little bit of consequence, but also there's the main problem I had was like sometimes the villains seemed a little weaker than they should have been, in my opinion. And just little things like that. And I don't like saying this, but it's kind of the truth is at the end of the day, to me, this movie is going to be forgettable. And to me, this movie is very kind of like, why should you watch it if it's might not even be part of the DCU?
Yeah. I don't know. I really like.
Oh, for sure, me too. But I think that's the biggest reason it's flopping right now is because why should you care? Yeah.
What's the point if it's gonna get rebooted anyways? I would say I agree with that. It was kind of cliche in the superhero sense, but I think this movie is a little bit more acceptable in that way because, like, the kids are living their superhero dream. You know, they're living what they read in the comics or see on TV with Superman. You know, so it's like they're expecting that cliche moments. You know, they're doing. I don't know how to explain it, but
I know what you mean. And I will say what I did enjoy a lot is maybe not a lot, but like there was a lot of like humor that actually kind of made me chuckle, especially like with the kids. It was pretty funny. And at the end of the day, and of course, as it should be, Shazam does feel like a very kid friendly like movie. Like it's a family movie, quite literally. And I think people will enjoy it. I'm kind of recommendation. I'm kind of like in the middle because like I would say it's a good family movie. Like you should go watch it, but at the same time, like I said, I don't know like what the point of it would be. So I guess only go watch it if you really want to support the movie because it needs it right now.
I mean, I would recommend it. I thought it was good to watch. I thought it was fun.
But on that note, we're going to go into spoilers. So if you're leaving us, thank you so much for watching. Look at the links in the description for literally everything, all of our socials and our merch. And we'll see you next week. And make sure you say hi to your mom for us. All right. This is for Edward. Man, I can't believe Shazam just died, you know? I can't believe they did that right away. I know.
It really did.
That's the point. Wait, that's funny. But all right, we're gonna start with our cons. Where do you think this movie went wrong, or what did you not like about this movie?
I feel like the middle section, not even the middle, just like, well, yeah, I guess it is the middle. I feel like it was.
I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Long. Yeah, it was. It seemed like the middle portion is what should have been the end. Like, they started fighting an hour in, and then it finished fighting until another hour.
And let me tell you,
because half the movie was leading to the conclusion.
You know why it felt that way? Because, and this is one of my biggest complaints, it is such a big cat and mouse formula. Literally, they got the staff, the sisters of Athena, they got the staff, and then Shazam got the staff back, and then the sisters came back, got the staff again, then Shazam got the staff, and then they got the staff for like an hour, and then he got the staff in the end. It was just like very back and forth, and I got so sick of it in the middle. I was like, dude, just come on already. Just take, like, villains, just take the staff for the rest of the movie and do all you gotta do. And while they had the staff, Um, my other biggest thing was with Rachel Zegler's character, because I feel like, yeah, she was like the nice god or whatever, the nice goddess, but like she just met Freddie. Like, she really had no intention of like having that big relationship or caring that much about him that fast.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I don't know. That was weird too. She couldn't decide what side she was on either.
Exactly.
Like, are you good or are you
But
bad?
I will say I did like the little, it's not like a twist, but like the little disagreements the three sisters had. Like, they couldn't agree on what to do, which then ended up making the main villain the one sister. Is it Calypso? I forgot her name. I'm
Right.
sorry. Anthena. That's so corny, dude. Anthena. But yeah, that's probably my biggest complaint about the movie, and that's to do with the plot. So it's
Yeah, that's my biggest
kind of a big complaint.
too.
But like I said, it's pretty corny, and there's just a lot more to it. We'll talk about the end later, but we can get into our pros. Like, what would you like the most about the movie? I've got two things.
I just really enjoyed, I think we already said it, like the family dynamic way more than I thought it would. Like, even from the beginning when they were trying to save the bridge, you know,
That was a good
thing.
scene. I like that scene. Yeah.
And it was funny too. They're like, all right, let's save this bridge.
The bridge has collapsed.
All right.
That was funny.
You know? Yeah. And just like the dynamic of like Billy trying to be the leader, he's like, all right, here's what we did wrong. And then the other kids are like, yeah, whatever. We have superpowers, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
We're leaving. And then they kind of transition like later in the movie where like, all right, we do have superpowers, but we don't know how to use them.
And even then, it was crazy. I don't mean to go back to the cons, but isn't it weird Shazam never lost his power? Like, one time?
No.
I thought it was a little weird. It's kind of like plot armor. But, of course, he goes to save the day. Hey, get down. Hold on. So, of course, he comes to save the day.
Shazam came and
saved the day, and everyone else lost their powers. And I found it so hard to believe that all those kids, no powers, were able to take out all those monsters, bro. That was crazy.
Yeah. That's how it always is. All the side monsters are taken out one hit by anybody.
Out of anything, he got taken out by unicorns, bro. Which I actually like, because they kind of built it up a little in the beginning, how she was like, oh yeah, unicorns are like the most powerful monsters or whatever. And then they actually were, and it was kind of crazy, all the unicorns, and I was just like, dude, it's pretty funny, actually. But that, and I'm a sucker for the whole Zack Snyder slow motion scenes with like lightning and stuff, and they did some of those, and they look so good. Those are so cool.
So good.
And then lastly, it's just the side thing, but I thought that was so damn funny. How much they would try to like pretend to curse, but it would like cut off halfway. I thought those were funny.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought it was a pretty generic movie, and it just kind of was more the same of what the first one was.
I agree. Why didn't he mention Superman? I was gonna ask.
Didn't he? I don't know.
Because he was talking about the Justice League. And he was like, oh, Batman's super cool and Wonder Woman's super strong, but then he never mentioned Superman. I was like,
they're probably, I don't know. I actually don't know. That's a good eye. Good ear. I don't remember him saying that. I just remember him talking about Wonder Woman the whole damn time. Which we can talk about it now if you're done with your pros.
Okay. I didn't like her. I didn't like her.
It's funny. I don't want to say it felt forced, but I felt like they wanted him to die, but they were like, "How do we bring him back?" And they're like, "Yeah, we need another god."
But like, it just seems so like, oh, Shazam died. Let's bring in Wonder Woman, bring him back, and then she leaves. Like, she comes in, touches the ground, brings him back to life, and then leaves. And it's like, all right, what was the point?
Considering they didn't know the fate of him, I wouldn't have
No.
minded them leaving the movie with Shazam dead.
Yeah, me too. That's
And
what I thought
then
they were doing.
I didn't. Once I heard that was the Wonder Woman cameo, I knew she was going to pop up eventually. And it was just funny because they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's no gods left to save him. Sorry." And she's like, "There's one god." And I was like, "Oh no, I
Was she
think so,
talking about
yeah."
herself?
And I was like, "Oh, I guess so, yeah." You know, obviously she came to save the day, but it was
Obviously, her entrance was awesome too. Of course, with her
for
music
sure.
and
Like, it
everything.
was nice to hear it after so long. For sure, I agree. But
Yeah.
there was that, and then there was the post credit scene, which, like I told you, The Rock was supposed to be there apparently. And you know what I read about too?
Yeah, but
You know how they mentioned the JSA? Apparently, The Rock didn't even want the JSA to be mentioned. Homie didn't want anything from his movie in this movie.
bruh.
And I was like that, but I was like, that's its own thing though. Like,
So okay, let's mention that to the listeners. So Dwayne Johnson, he just wanted he wants nothing to do with Shazam because basically he wants everything to do with Superman because he wants to be the biggest villain out there. He wants to be like the
Homie wants
center
to
of
be
the
Thanos.
DC universe. He wants like Superman and Black Adam. Those are he wants those to be the two big things. And it's like he's literally
just
the
wants to
Shazam villain.
He wants to be in the big spotlight with Superman because Superman's the biggest hero.
Right, but that's not where his character goes.
At all.
Like, sorry.
I'm sure he knows that too. I'm sure he knows enough source material to know that. I'm sure he read one thing and was like, "Oh, Superman faced Black Adam. Okay, cool. That means he's pretty big."
Like Shazam and Superman go together more than Black
100%.
Adam and Superman.
And apparently he even refused to let Zachary Levi be Shazam in cameo at the end of Black Adam.
Yeah, it's so dumb. But
Which honestly, it's probably the biggest reason why he's put on hold right now. They're kind of just like, you know what?
possibly. I will say though, Shazam would get clapped
100%.
by Black Adam. Currently in this
100%.
movie universe. Oh, it's not even close. But
For now. But not with the whole family though.
that's true.
Biggest thing.
That's true. Well, I don't know. He took on the whole group of people.
Yeah, I guess
Dr.
so.
Fate and everyone.
But I guess we're gonna find out if we actually no, we're not. We're not gonna find out.
Yeah, we won't.
Probably ever
That was the end.
for a long time. On that note, recast Black Adam, please. No, but seriously, on that note, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you look at the links in the description once again for our socials and for our merch store. And we're gonna see you next week when we review John Wick 4. Say it to your mom for us. We'll see you later.
Really?